So we finally got that Sony State of Play, and I have to say this is probably one of the best states of play we have got. Please say I'm Jin. Why am I not Jin Sakai? Everything exceeded my expectation. Why are you playing as a different character? We're gonna run through the games that were announced. I was quite happy at first because the first thing we saw was Astro Bot. It's a game that I flipping love. I've platinumed it. I think it's one of the best PlayStation games in recent years. And I was so happy to see that there's gonna be some DLC to this game that is free of charge. So there's gonna be 5 new online speedrun levels, which is so cool. I love that in Astro's Playroom where I would get a notification that someone's beaten my score and then you have to try and beat them. So I am so excited to play this DLC. But not only that, there are also some new bots that you will need to save. 10 new bots, and you've got the likes of like Stellar Blade and Helldivers, and I think this started off so strong. I cannot wait to dive into that. Fall. 2000. Oh, wow. Then we got an interesting game which is coming out on PS5 and PSVR 2, which looked very interesting. It reminded me of Little Nightmares, and that's called The Midnight Walk. It's an interesting game. I'm not sure if it's something that I'm gonna jump at the chance of playing, but you can wishlist it, but there's no release date. We then got another game that instantly I was like, wow, this looks really cool. Something called Hell Is Us, and this looks unbelievable. I just feel like the graphics look so impressive. I don't really know what this game is about, but I really did love the gameplay that was shown. Oh my gosh, the fact that you get some sort of cool sword, you've got this hood and you have to investigate areas. This one has definitely caught my eye. I just think this is one that we need to talk about, and I cannot wait to see more about this game. We didn't get a release date, which was a bit annoying, but I assume it's something maybe next year. We then got a PSVR 2 game, which I'm so excited to play. I cannot wait to pre-order this. Metro Awakening. I've spoken about this game on other videos in the past, and I feel like this is going to be such an amazing VR2 experience. A horror-like game. You've got guns, you have to sneak past enemies. There is a massive story to this. Again, I've run through this game before. This is the only game I knew that was kind of coming because I saw it on PlayStation where the pre-orders went up. Not really a surprise. I'm really glad that they showed more of it, and it's ready to come out November 7th. We then got another fantasy sort of game with Archeage Chronicles. Did I get that right? And there are so many fantasy games lately that there was quite a few in this one. But this looks very, very interesting. I love these sort of fantasy games as well. Something that reminds me of Final Fantasy 16 in terms of what time era it's in. But this looks very, very cool. I don't know much about this. The combat looks fun, but I need to see more about this game. But this is definitely one I want to keep my eye, and it is coming out at some point in 2025. Wish list. Interesting. That's one to look out for. We then got, and I couldn't believe it because I heard rumors, we then got Power World that was coming out literally on the day. So literally you can buy it now. Is Power World coming to PS5? I've always wanted to try it. This is something that I have wanted to try, and I'm not sure when I'm gonna, because when I saw it first released for Xbox, I was a bit hyped and I really wanted to play it. This was quite a surprise. I do want to play Power World. I haven't played it, obviously, since I only have a PlayStation, but it's finally out. I don't even know how much it is. I need to check. But this is something I do want to try, and it just looks like a lot of fun. Just as they're getting sued, it's quite jokes. I was like, you know what? Some games are being announced here. I can't wait to get to the end. Kind of. We then got some older titles like Luna Remastered Collection, which again, I've never played these older titles. You got games like Turtle Shredder Revenge. I've never played those sort of games. We got Keanu Reeves joining Shadow X Shadow Generations. Oh, wow.
Another form?
What's this? When I look at this gameplay, it looks a lot of fun, but I've never really got into Sonic. So I say I want to try it, but with time, it's just not enough time in the damn day. So I'm not sure if I'm going to play this one, but this is pretty cool. Man, he's playing a lot of games lately, Keanu Reeves. Vanatasian Neo Dimension. Again, this is not my sort of game. This arrives December 5th. Again, I need to see more of it, but I'm not sure if that's for me. Then we got Dragon Age The Vilgard. And I've heard a lot about this game on X. Customer creation. You can give yourself surgery scars and stuff. Not sure this game is for me.
This is the worst.
Reminds me a little bit of Forspoken. There wasn't much story because I don't actually know the story, and it was a long boss battle that they were showing, and it was kind of impressive, I think. After seeing what the sort of things they're going for in this game, I don't think this game is for me. Well, it isn't for me. I'm not going to buy it, but some of you might be excited to give yourself scars. Our next thing, I was like, what is this? Is this Alan Wake 2? Which it was. I love this game.
Had any clue what was waiting
I'm buying
for
that
us in
physical
there?
release. I thought it was just an announcement for the physical release. And you know me, I really liked Alan Wake 2. So we got Alan Wake 2, The Lake House, which is a DLC or an expansion, which is coming to PS5 in October. I want to buy the physical for that game because I platinumed it. I really loved it. So I'm very interested in more about this DLC. The stuff that they added ages ago with Alan Wake, even though you're playing as the other characters, it didn't really grip me. I know it was something small, so I'm hoping this will get me back into the world of Alan Wake 2. We then got another VR2 game, which looked absolutely insane. I was like, whoa, it looks like Hitman, and it basically is, with Hitman World of Assassination, and this looks so good. I've never played any of the Hitman games, but again, I was quite impressed with some of the games that were announced. I was just still hoping that later on we're going to get that big reveal. Then we saw another remaster because this is the generation of remasters. We've got Legacy of Kain, Soul Reveal 1 and 2 remastered, which is coming December 10th. Then we had a game that looked really interesting. It just looked like a horror game, which obviously I like my horror games, with Fear the Spotlight. So need to see more of that, and that's coming October 22nd. Then we got another DualSense for the PS5 collection, and of course it's a Fortnite one, which it looks pretty cool. It just looks like stickers, to be honest, but that is not going to be for me. I've already got enough controllers, and plus I don't actually play Fortnite, so if you're someone who loves Fortnite, then I guess you're gonna love this controller. Then we saw a game that I knew I saw it before because I'm pretty sure we saw this years ago, Towers of Agasaba. I knew we saw this before because it looked like the glider from Zelda, and this is finally coming to PS5 November for early access. I thought it was just a single player story driven game. We got a bigger look at Dynasty Warriors Origins, which is coming January 17th of 2025. This does look quite incredible with the gameplay, but I don't know if this is for me. We then saw a game from Capcom, and for some reason I was like, Resident Evil. No. Monster Hunter Wilds has really impressed me, and I just need to check, do I need to play any of the previous games, because I've never played a Monster Hunter Wild game. And that's coming February 28th, so just around the corner. I actually need to get into the Monster Hunter game, if this is it. It is, isn't it? We then got the release date for Horizon Adventures, the Lego game, which actually looks quite fun. And this is coming out October 3rd, and you do get some pre-order bonuses. This is something I actually really want to try because I've never played a Lego game, and everyone keeps going on about how good some of these Lego games are. The main finale, we finally got the announcement of Horizon Zero Dawn Remaster. The game, I don't know about you, but I've been wanting this game to be remastered for years. Since I was born. Now, the graphics do look better, but it's just so baffling to see a game from 2017 getting a remaster. It does look better, and what is good, thankfully, is that if you do have the PS4 version, you can upgrade for like $10 or £10, which is good, and I want to, but then for me personally, I don't feel the need to get back to those games. So this is one where I guess if I've got free time, I want to check it out, but I'm not someone who loves the world of Horizon. You might know that already with some of my previous videos. If you do love it or you've never played it, obviously it's going to be the best way to experience Horizon. But yeah, I was like, all right, we're waiting for the big announcements now, and we got some new updates coming to Stellar Blade, like a photo mode, which again, what a game. But there's also a DLC, which I was like, wow. I was like, what? So what's that mean? Oh, it's a DLC. Well, anyway, there's a DLC to Stellar Blade that's coming to PS5. It says 2024, so it's coming. Then they announced some monthly games like WWE 2K24, Dead Space, Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. But then they also announced with the classic catalog that Blood Omen Legacy of Kain and Capcom's Dino Crisis is coming. But also, which was really quite surprising, was The Last of Us Part 1 Remake is coming to PS Plus, which is very interesting. I feel like they've just milked that game, so they're like, you know what, just send it free before we announce another remaster. Then, which was very confusing, I thought they were announcing some new controllers, but turns out they're announcing the Chroma collection. So you've got Indigo, Pearl, and Teal, and you can pre-order these from October the 3rd. It just feels so confusing with all these different systems. They've got the PS5 Pro, and then they've got the 30th anniversary, then they've got the Slim, then they don't do the original one, but now they're doing the Chroma collection. I'm just getting confused with all these damn systems. Just to let you know, the vertical stand is sold separately.
What?
Don't get it twisted. Who do you think this is? Then we've got the one and only Mark coming back on, the lead architecture of the PS5. Then he said there's going to be some games announced that will be upgraded for the PS5 Pro. And he did say that there were games that we haven't seen yet. So I started getting really freaking excited. Obviously, we saw games like Final Fantasy Rebirth, Horizon Forbidden West, The Last of Us Part 2, Remastered, Dragon's Dogma 2, Resident Evil 4, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I actually want to experience that in a true 60 FPS. The First Descendant, Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, we got a sneak peek. Even Stellar Blade is going to be enhanced for the PS5 Pro alongside obviously Hogwarts Legacy. But the last announcement of this state of play, which I couldn't believe, I was getting my hopes up. I was getting very, very confused because I was like, is this a new Ghost of Tsushima 2? I cannot believe it. Going to revisit Jin Sakai. I couldn't wait. I was getting confused, but then I was like, oh, it's a woman. Is this Ghost of... No.
People come north
No.
to disappear.
No, it's... Is it? Is this Ghost of... No. What? Is this Ghost of... Is this Ghost of Tsushima? What? Yes! Let's go, let's go! Ghost of Tsushima 2! Surely! Wait, is it? Am I a woman? Why am I not Jin... What? Am I Jin Sakai? Please say I'm Jin... Why am I not Jin Sakai? Why are you playing as a different character? And honestly, upon reflection, I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually quite freaking disappointed.
2 hours later.
So I've had some time to think about Ghost of Yotei, and as you would have seen, my initial reactions were alarm bells. I was alarmed because I'm thinking, oh my gosh, they know everyone loves Jin Sakai. Why did they decide to move on from this character? And that's the immediate thing I got. All I got was, oh my gosh, because of everything going on in modern day with all of these gender swaps and stuff like that. I'm not gonna lie. First of all, I was disappointed because I just feel like Jin Sakai is an amazing character. And I just feel like there's more story to tell. And then obviously, second of all, you're just scared that they're going to ruin a franchise. Now that I've had time to think about it, could it be something like a Final Fantasy where it is many different stories over different time periods? Will they make this a massive, massive franchise where they expand not just with Jin Sakai, but with completely different characters in a different era? And now that I think about it, don't get me wrong, I would love to see more of Jin Sakai because he's just the best. I feel like this could potentially be the next Assassin's Creed that has basically fallen off a cliff and everything happened with Ubisoft is an absolute joke. That's my initial thoughts. Now, this is Sucker Punch. Even though we are playing as a female protagonist, and I don't think that's a problem, so if anyone says you just don't like, I love playing as good female characters if they're written well. This is Sucker Punch. They created Jin Sakai. And if they can do the same with this new female character, I've forgotten her name, I just think this could potentially work. Now, don't get me wrong, I was so upset at first because I was thinking,
why? Why did you do that?
But now I'm coming around with it. I feel like there's more that we need to see. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a normal reaction to have that, oh no, DEI, this is going to be terrible. I think that's a normal thing because of what's happened in modern day gaming. I think that's only a normal reaction. If they showed a Jin Sakai, I would have been ecstatic. Ecstatic. I want to see more of that character. But if they create another character from a different time period and we see stories and myths and legends about Jin Sakai that was like 300 years ago, I think this could be the next Final Fantasy. This could be the next Assassin's Creed. And I think Sucker Punch are probably the only company that can do it. So I'm staying very optimistic, although my initial reaction was just like, damn. Now that I've come to think about it, I feel like I'm much more on board. And Sucker Punch only made Ghost of Tsushima a few years ago. So it's not like it's 10 years ago, you know, Rocksteady and they're a completely different studio and everyone's left. That's what I'm hoping. So we're going to have to see more. They stated the reason why they wanted to move on from Jin Sakai. They stated that they were more passionate about creating a new story and a completely new person and building up that character. So we're gonna have to see. You need to let me know what you guys think. What did you give that state of play out of 10? Was it for you? Are you excited? There are quite a few games that I'm interested in. I gotta go.